why your to-do list is making you less productive and how I get a week's worth of work done in a single day. Hey, if you're new here, my name is Michael Porsche and I am based out of Idaho. I'm a former firefighter for the city of San Diego, but now full-time entrepreneur and real estate investor. In this video, I'm gonna show you why you need to ditch your to-do list. No, seriously, like throw it away. And how these 4 critical steps gets me a week's worth of work done in a single day. Yes, you heard it, folks. I call this the EDAP. E stands for eliminate the unnecessary to-do lists and just focus on the main thing. A great way to do this is start by using the Paro Principle, aka the 80-20 rule. The Paro Principle is essentially a rule that says most of the results just come from a few things you do. So imagine if you had a big box of toys, but you played with only a few of your favorite ones. The Paro Principle is a bit like that. It means that about 80% of the good stuff or results usually come from about 20% of the things you do, or the toys you play with. So it's important to figure out which things, or toys, are the most important and focus on them because they make the biggest difference. Now, something really interesting, the founder of SpaceX, whom is Elon Musk, applied this principle to SpaceX. He had these audacious big goals of making space travel really appeal to anybody, and at the same time, living on Mars. Elon saw that the way people launch rockets at that time were way expensive and wasting a lot of money. So he did 3 important things to change that. He started with reusable rockets. Elon figured out that if you use a rocket more than once, instead of throwing it away, it can save you a lot of money. So he made rockets that you can use again and again, like the Falcon 9 and the Falcon Heavy. The second thing he did was lean operations. He also leaned into the idea of how factories work to make SpaceX more efficient. He got rid of things that really just didn't help with space launches, so they didn't waste money. Third thing he did is he focused on Mars. That's a fun thing to do, and that's what he actually liked to do. Elon's biggest dream is to send people to Mars. And so he used the Paro Principle to help to focus on things that are actually going to do that. What is the 20% that's gonna make that happen? He even made a plan called the SpaceX Interplanetary Transport System, which is now called Starship, like Starship Troopers, to live on Mars someday. Because of these changes, SpaceX made huge strides and have become a huge brand name. Now everyone knows about them. They made things like launching into space a lot cheaper and a lot more affordable. And the Falcon 9 rocket set the highest records for being the most cost effective. So this is what I do at the start of every week. And I ask myself, what is the 20% of work that I need to do that's gonna be essentially taking care of 80% of the results that I want? And in fact, at the end of this YouTube video, I'm gonna show you exactly how I do that and how I essentially bring a chunk of my time just to focus on that and that alone. And that helps me really just eliminate everything. The second thing is gonna be D for EDAP, delegate. And what I mean by this is just give away the tasks that you hate doing. Ask yourself the question, what are you good at versus what just frustrates you and just wanna pull your hair out? And I'd say everything that really drains you, go ahead and delegate to someone like a virtual assistant. That's pretty low cost and cost effective. Story time. So Sir Richard Branson was the person who founded the Virgin Group, which is like Virgin Atlantic Airlines, things like that. And he had some big challenges to fulfill in the 1990s. His company, Virgin Group, was growing really fast, but he didn't like doing the whole money and all the administrative stuff. So he said, and he didn't enjoy dealing with numbers and spreadsheets. These things were very important for obviously running a company because they had lots of different businesses, like music, airlines, and more. So Richard made a bold choice. Instead of doing these things himself, he of course asked experts who are really good at doing these things, like CEOs and people in place and just people doing the grind day-to-day work. This decision let Sir Richard focus on the things that he actually got a lot of joy from and was able to free his mind on the highest leverage things for his business, which was like coming up with new ideas and being the visionary and being able to let his creative mind flow. But he didn't actually even stop there. He went on exciting adventures like going to space with Virgin Galactic and working on super fast transportation with Virgin Hyperloop. His decision to delegate these important tasks was a big deal and made some people talk because many business leaders, especially at that time, thought they should be doing everything themselves. But of course, it turned out to be a great idea. It freed up all of his time. He wasn't bogged down working in the weeds of all these little things, and he didn't have to learn even new skills. He was able to find the right person who was able to come in and do the main work and all the other work. And really just goes to show it's okay to ask for help, especially when they're experts. And it doesn't show you as being weak, but shows you as being smart and leveraging people who are good at what they do. Now, there's a very simple way of being able to apply this in your own life. And I'd start by making a list of everything you just hate doing, but just at the end of the day, it has to get done. And a very low cost way of being able to really delegate the things that you just hate doing, start by hiring a virtual assistant who's skilled at doing it. There's a list of websites like these ones being shown that you can start off by hiring a virtual assistant for like $3, $4 an hour. Websites like onlinejobs.ph or Upwork or Fiverr. These are pretty competitive sites to where you can find pretty cheap labor at low cost that you can delegate quite a lot of things. I've also attached a hiring guide with this video that I have used for my personal life, workplace, and business to help me find cheap labor quickly. It includes job descriptions, templates, really what to say, and having automated emails to send back to them so that they can even make really videos for you and answering the basic interview questions so you can get a feel and not even have to meet with them first, but you are at least getting all these people in your emails ready to go. If you're interested in that, that's all down below. Make sure to check out in the description and click on the link and it's yours. To be honest, there's actually a lot of things that I really don't like doing, even about making this video, that I did delegate. I delegated the editing of the video, I delegated the posting and writing all the descriptions, I delegated the making of the PDFs and making of all the descriptions. I delegated all those things because I'm not really good at doing the little small things, but I like being creative and I like being the visionary work, just like Sir Richard Branson. There's A's for automation. The best way to automate things, and I'd say, you focus first on eliminating, then by delegating, and then by automating. And so automating is essentially the third to last thing that you want to be able to do besides the stuff that you do yourself. And some really common examples, especially in the personal life, that you can really automate are emails. Email filters, like setting up filters so that you're only getting the emails that are actually really important. Next is grocery shopping. I don't remember the last time I went grocery shopping because I usually just use Instacart. And I have some of the most common things that I always get and I always know when it does, and I can have that automated to go purchase those items every 2 or 3 weeks. You can even use things like Amazon with that too. Next is flights. A lot of times I spend a lot of time trying to look for the best deals, and I like to use going.com because they actually find deals for you, but even then it takes me usually 1 to 2 hours when I'm trying to book flights, and now I just have my virtual assistant spend the time to go do that. And granted, it's not automated, but it still reserves a lot of time for yourself that you don't have to spend those extra 2 hours doing. Last is, I would say, is definitely invest in a password manager. Password managers are huge, especially when it comes to not having to remember and store all these different passwords. If you're not using one today, I don't know what's going on with you. But password managers are absolute key. I like to use LastPass. That's been one of the best ones for me. We also got another link of the 6 most common things in a workplace and a personal home you can automate today to save you more time. So this guide shows you how to automate them today, as well as just some of the top ones that you can utilize. And it's a step-by-step guide to do that. So like I said before, the last one we're going into is T for time blocking. So these are for the things that you absolutely love and are also the highest leverage activities for you, like investing in relationships, investing in your family, doing things that you love, things that bring you back energy. And I'd also consider, if you're thinking about for business or personal life, I would also name this as the most important next step, also known as MINS. You ever heard of the guy Warren Buffett? Warren Buffett does these 3 things in order to time block his day. He is a legendary investor, financial wizard, and has a clever way of managing his time. First, he starts off with the morning crunch from 9 to 12 p.m. What he does is essentially starts in the morning, he digs it, probably eats breakfast, I imagine. He digs deep into the financial stuff and pores over important reports. He checks out the numbers and he studies the details of different companies. Now this allows him to start to decide where to invest his money. Think of it like a chess player making their most important moves in the game. The next time block he has is from 3 to 4 p.m. Obviously he has a big chunk in between just to chill. But from 3 to 4 p.m. is his learning block. In the afternoon, he just takes a break from the hustle and bustle to learn new things. He reads books and keeps up with the latest news to understand what's happening in the business world. This allows him to stay ahead of the game and kind of really predetermine what's coming. What's next? Third thing he does is guarding his time and protects his space. He makes sure not to fill up his calendar with too many meetings or too many crowded, conversations or talks. And he values the quiet time to think deeply on different issues or things he may have to challenge or may have to do. So this helps him make the best choices on money, what to do, how to invest in different relationships, and really allow for his highest leverage activities. So this is a typical week for me when it comes to time blocking. I start my Mondays off heavy because I always like coming back Monday with real strong. I like to wake up at 4, wake up, get coffee, give thanks. I like to study Greek, read, pray, do some little bit of training, review some tasks, record on my tracker. I prioritize the whole week and I review and assign tasks that I can essentially delegate and really plan out what my team is doing. Next, I work out, stretch, have a team meeting, meet with my performance coach, and I do content. Tuesday, same thing in terms of reviewing tasks and things of that nature throughout the week. I like to take Wednesdays off because I like sprinting. And I also like to leave a whole bunch of open room for just different activity. My dark green is family time, my blue is for my business, my orange is for content, and the pink is for my investments. If you want to start time blocking today and don't know where to start, I put a little time blocking guide down below as well, just so you can use that for whatever your leisure is. To really help you decide what's the most important thing for you and how to best leverage your time. I really do this so I can be most productive. And this is why I call my productive template. It has all those different items you can include in there and helps you figure out things that you can automate, that you can delegate, that you can time block and highest level activities for you, and how to really organize your day. This little packet should be really helpful, and hopefully it makes you a lot more productive person that you can completely get rid of your to-do list. And if you've gotten this far and you haven't subscribed and since you watched the whole thing, what are you doing? Like, if you watch this far, you know it's helpful, go ahead and subscribe. And also, if there's someone who could really be a lot more productive in their life and this could probably help them, how about you go ahead and send this video over to them and maybe send them the same PDFs and documents to help make their time a lot more productive. Hey, thank you for spending the time with me. I look forward to seeing you on my next video.